What is this? Is it Benedict? Egg Benedict?
It's Madeleine Benedict. Ooh, and a vanilla. Thank you. Cold brew.
Almond croissant. And my favorite person. Too cute, too cute.
Highland, come for you.
กำลังจะชี้ให้ดูอ่ะพี่อ่ะใช่นี่คาเฟ่ที่มากินเมื่อเช้านะคะ มาจากบ้านเพื่อนนะคะบ้านเพื่อนแล้วก็พาเพื่อนก็มาทานข้าวแถวบ้านนะคะ เป็นร้านคาเฟ่ปาริเซียนนะคะ นี่คือจอห์นเป็นPhD นะคะนักเรียนปอเอกที่แบบว่าเก่งมากจบปอเอกมาก็ได้ปริญญากำกับด้วยนะคะอ่ะ I say you got him there.
Okay, good. I heard the PhD
directing.
part.
Yeah, and you got an MF in directing. All in one.
You know,
amazing man.
Go big or go home.
You know what? I actually should like use something else to carry this if we can do it along some. Okay, I will do this. We did it. We did it. What are we going to talk about today, John?
Oh, I don't know. What are we going to talk about today?
Normally what I talked about is something that I'm like really into at the moment. So I'm just going to say that yesterday we were watching Heartstopper.
We were watching Heartstopper.
And I cried like a fucking baby.
We cried at the same parts, which I think is really telling for queer people. Because I think those little moments that we as queer people recognize from our lives and like trigger us. We see it and we're like, oh my God, that's exactly what it was like.
Yeah, and the acting was so good. Like
good.
The moment, there were so many moments that I was like, it was so quiet and we were just watching the reaction of them doing things or seeing things or just thinking. Like we can see what they were thinking.
Yeah.
And, you know.
And they're so young. It's like they're so young and that talented and they have like such long careers ahead of them, which is so cool.
Is it? Okay, so John loved Heartstopper so much.
Love it.
John did a lot of research and he had a lot of knowledge about Heartstopper.
Yeah, because I've watched it already like 100 times. And like
not exaggerating.
Not exaggerating. And so like, yeah, I'm like filling in the like pause, like, and then this actor, they were in this film and da-da-da. Hi, sorry. Yeah.
No. I just want to, switch up the angle a little bit like this. Oh, shit. Then when I'm editing. So when I'm editing, it's going to be like, all fucked. Look at my eyes. Because of Heartstopper, look at my eyes. I'm like puffy.
But no, I actually feel really honored, Mo, that I got to watch the rest of it with you. That you had not seen the full thing. And
yeah, I only see first episode. And then John was like, okay, let's do this. And I'm like, what? And it was so good, though. It was so good.
Yeah.
And just like what John said, when we cry at the same spot, I was like...
Yeah. And it wasn't like, oh, I'm seeing Mo cry and I cry because, again, I watched it 100 times. It's like, no, like literally we're sitting next to each other and we both just start crying at the same time.
Yeah.
Because of what we recognized in the moments,
But one thing that was different, though, John...
What?
I normally don't watch LGBT content so much because it's so sad most of the time.
Yeah.
Most of the time it's so sad and I don't like watching sad things so much.
Yeah.
And then, so I barely watch queer content so much. Sometimes I'm just kind of like, I have to really be in the mood. I'm like, I'm going to, consume queer content today. I hope it doesn't make me depressed. Something like that.
Yeah.
So, someone told me about Heartstopper and I started first episode and I think it was really cute. And the thing that's different between this one and normal, like a regular Series Y in Thailand, is that like the Series Y in Thailand, like Series Y is like for like yaoi, like, guys on guys. It's kind of like, it's a fantasy for straight girls. It's like, it would be like two straight guys playing rugby. And then one day someone kiss somebody's ass, and then they fall in love. Something like that,
Yeah. Absolutely.
It's not so much like that. I'm just kidding. But like, one of my friends was telling me a plot, and I was like, really? It was two guys fighting over a same girl. And then as they were fighting, they fall down, they kiss.
Amazing.
And then it turns out, so that's how it started. It's all started.
Amazing.
So now they're lovers now.
So true to life. Not. Right? But I think that's why Heartstopper is so different, right? It feels like we're watching it and we're like, this feels true to life.
Yes, because the main character is already out.
Yeah.
So the main character is gay and we're we're like go through the the life of a young gay man, and then we can see his hope. What is he going through?
And his
Trauma,
yeah.
and how the society is taking queer people in England, right?
Yeah.
What town are they in?
I don't know. I don't think it necessarily specifies in this.
Yeah, it's
story,
probably
but
like
yeah, just generic
fictional.
British school with uniforms and boys school, girls school, and but I think yeah, I love that like the lead character is already out. The trans character has already transitioned.
Oh, she's so beautiful.
Living her life already. And instead of watching like the coming out story, although there is a coming out story, but it's kind of like
yes,
another.
It's another level.
Exactly.
Because it's not one person too. It was like the whole gang.
Right.
It was like the whole everybody's represented. There's an ally. There's transgender. There's
lesbians,
bisexual, gay man.
It's just it's really truly LGBT, right? In this beautifully balanced way.
Yeah, and like the relationship between families, friends, it was beautiful. It was beautiful.
Going this way.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's, I think, like you were saying too, I think the other thing that's so refreshing about it is that unlike so much other queer content, it was like, it's just full of joy. It's not full of constant tragedy or sad endings. It's like, it's all about just, and also like not based around sex.
Yeah. Oh, that's big. It was like, John, think about it, like the guy, he was, like we were just experiencing a boy falling in love.
Yeah.
And just how, teenage love works.
Yeah.
Or like first love, or when, you figure out yourself, but it's not all very dramatic. It's
subtle things like a touch, or like the promise of a touch, or first kiss, or, the who do you tell first, right? Like all these, I was telling you, remember, about how like the names of the episodes is like the structure of queer romance, like, and that's what is like so different from straight romance, which was so refreshing, right? It's like, yeah, you have the phase of like meeting, having a crush, having a first kiss. Now we have to keep it a secret. Then we start becoming friends. Then we start telling girls. And then bullying starts when other people find out, and then eventually we're boyfriends. So like it's so beautiful how well thought out this entire story is planned to follow, like kind of what so many of us queer people recognize as like exactly how it unfolds, which is different from straight people.
And it was the happy unfolding at last.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, we have seen all these disappointments. Let me see a happy gay boy for once.
For
once. Like,
and
why?
That's why we cry, because we're like,
can the gay boy have love? Like, I'm like, the fuck? And then, oops. All the time. I can't. Oh, man. And like, but okay, there's like, okay, before anything, I just want to give credit to John. He's not a regular PhD.
Oh.
What are you studying?
What
did you study?
Oh, okay, so, okay. My PhD is about nostalgia.
Yeah?
It's about our relationship to our pasts and how we interact with them in the present, and how ultimately how we interact with our pasts helps dictate our futures. And it can go one way or it can go another way, really based on how you look at your past. Either you get lost in it and it consumes you, or you allow it to educate you and not dictate everything, but to inform you about the right way to proceed, a good way to proceed. And I just think nostalgia is everything. Think of how many things. This is why the Heartstopper was so powerful for us, right?
Yes.
We were living our nostalgia. We were living it, but we were living it.
The nostalgia we want.
We weren't in our past though. We were reminiscing to it, and then like, but right now, and we're understanding how that past has informed how we as queer people want to be now, and that's why I love it. It spoke to me from my research, And
I actually have a question too.
Yeah.
You've been in this world for a long time. There's so many queer content.
This sounds so old. I'm not.
No,
that old.
Shut up. I'm just saying that we're full-grown adults.
We are adults.
So I'm just saying that, like, it seems like you really like this one, and you said this one, you feel represented.
Yeah.
When, a lot of queer content was out, do you feel represented?
Honestly, the way I reacted to this TV show so immediately and viscerally, it was like I'd never seen myself represented. And I've been saying it to people like this. I think and I'm about to get political, one of the, I think, terrible things that white supremacy does is convince people, even cis white people, that they're represented. And what I saw in Heartstopper that made me weep was the fact that I realized I had not seen myself represented ever. And that to me was a revelation. I was like, okay. And it made me sit there and go, I'm sick of content, especially queer content, where I don't see myself. That it's not just sex. It's not just frivolous, like, oh, I fall down and we kiss and now we're, that it really starts with such innocent, beautiful things like a touch or a kiss and falling in love. And I'm like, I don't want anything less than something that I feel really represents us.
Yeah. Like, one of the things that, we were like, there's no vulgar sex. Like, the kiss was 14-year-old kisses.
Yeah.
And it was pure, it was innocent, it was love.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, all right. Hope we got more queer content that represent us.
This is queer content right here.
Yes. Thank you so much, Jon.
Thank you. Love you.
Alrighty.
Subscribe กดกระดิ่งด้วยนะคะ ขอบคุณค่ะ